Well, welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz. That's right, it's tea time. And today in the studio, I am joined with my amazing friend, brother, and leader of Kamara Youths. He's also the creator and founder of Kamara Workshops. So we'll get into that a little bit in a little bit. And I'm just going to read his bio. And his bio is a little long, but I believe that it needs to be out there for each and every one of you to hear how much this man has changed and transformed his life. So Unisa is a former CEO, founder of Black Lions Entertainment and Kamara Homes in America. He works with you to identify the ideal topic for your event, and he will deliver a high performance intervated leadership speech. He is a passionate speaker that enjoys helping individuals and companies achieve their goals and build their relationships. Hundreds are watching him on YouTube. Many interact with him via Facebook. He has proved that whatever he touches turns into gold, and many that he has worked with follows him on LinkedIn. He's promised that it's not his stunning smile or his way with words that motivates individuals to take action. He tends to look at where the individual is and are coming from, what the individuals have been through, focus on it, and he will then turn and give ideals on moving forward with great results. He's straight from the heart, passion and high energy will motivate individuals into achieving what they thought was impossible. His charisma, warmth, and humor will change individuals from ordinary to extraordinary by telling them what he has been through. His journey to this point has not been an easy one. He had to go through a transitional phase for himself to accomplish what he has accomplished. And he has been through so many triumphs in his life, and he is still standing strong. I'm going to share a little bit more of the bio in a little bit, but I want to really get into UNICEF because he is an incredible role model for me and a real leader and making a difference in so many people's lives. So, UNICEF, could you share on how it started and where it began? And I'll share a little bit more on the bio at the end of the show.
Absolutely. It started off in Staten Island, New York. Just a young boy wanting to go to school being picked on, so started walking around the neighborhood instead of going to school. But as time went on, it came to a point where it was time for me to grow. That's when I opened up my first business, my first company. And that actual company started off from a bet, $1 bet. And, it was not easy, as you quite aware, Liz, when you want to create a business, especially only you. So I had to create myself, not double or triple myself. I became three people. I was the CEO, the VP, and the PA.
Wow.
Creativity. Three different cell phones, three different business cards. So when people were calling, they were thinking that they were calling my PA, when in actuality they're leaving a voicemail for me. I had three different people record three different voices, three different voicemails. So I learned how to strategize and plan at an earlier age. And growing just, I think, enhanced my way of thinking and understanding people, because we have to understand everybody's different. So knowing that person where they are at that point in time, you have to learn to work with that person where they are. And along the way, you can support them and they can support you. So after I left that company, I created another company called Kamara Homes. I created Kamara Homes because I was trying to get away from a certain lifestyle. And when I seen what I was trying to get away from, the drugs and the guns, I decided this business is not for me. And around Staten Island, Park Hill to be specific, you would see kids getting killed because somebody was selling drugs in front of another building where he's not supposed to. So there's a lot of crossfire. So Kamara Homes came about for us to buy properties and go to these tenants with children into a safer zone, school zone, where they don't have to worry about their children getting killed or hurt, walking from school. So that's how Kamara Homes came about. So I've had quite an interesting life, Liz. Quite enjoyable one as well. I can't complain. In life you cannot reflect too much on on regrets. Things happen and they will continue to happen. But again, with the right mindset, you can overcome any obstacle that comes in your way, whether negative or positive. It's how it's all based on the decisions you make.
I truly agree with that. I'm going to read a little bit more of your bio so everyone can get a little bit more insight on who you really are, Unisa. So, growing up in a bad neighborhood where he saw a friend being shot a couple of times, and my girlfriend dying in his arms, he figured it was time to change. So, he opened Black Lions Entertainment and he ran it for a while. But seeing that he was trying to avoid what was around him, guns and drugs, as he's mentioned, he walked away from his company and opened Kamara Homes, which he has mentioned, which gave him a place of mind helping individuals get into a home for a good price. Moving to London was never on his agenda, but he chose to be with his family and to be active in his daughter's life. He wanted better for himself, children and family, so he created a why that was stronger than anything. He moved to a new country, United Kingdom, where everything was new. No friends, only himself, his wife, and his daughter. He put himself through school and changed his whole perspective. His father being on his dying bed, not being able to see him, attended his burial to say goodbye. Totally killed him, so he turned to the bottle, which we'll talk about a little bit about the bottle because I believe that we really need to get that out there for the youths. For months, he was losing himself until one day he had a conversation with his mother. He then realized that he was not only hurting himself, but he was also hurting her and the family. So, so he had to make a choice. Again, he had to make a transition from negative thoughts into positive ones. Nothing is easy, but with a strong why, all is possible. He figured why let individuals go through what he went through alone. By him helping others, he was also helping himself. Life is a circle, one hand washes the other. He currently has two television shows on Amaze TV, psychological and political, which he has done over 40 shows, seminars, Zoom conferences, radio appearances, podcasts, and he has just completed his first movie. He is a keynote speaker, motivational, and spiritual speaker, and you can reach out to him and he will change lives with you together. Eunice, I really want to get into your story because I actually had the privilege of reading your memoirs and really seeing how deep the pain was and how much you've overcome. As it's mentioned in your bio that you shared with me, the bottle. When was the awakening moment for you to drop the bottle?
The awakening point was waking up in a hotel in a bathtub where the possibility of drowning was liable and having to wake up to my mother ringing me at that same time. So with the essence of what she stated to me and what I was going through at that moment kind of gave me that awakening. That was my awakening moment.
You've gone through a lot, and I've read your story, and it's really heartbreaking. But you have turned it into a positive outcome from all of that heartache. So, what was it about all of the hardships in your life, Eunice, that had made you want to help youths and not adults?
I believe in life we go through the cycle of life. Once a child and then you become a man, then back to an elderly, which brings you back to that childhood phase. I've seen many adults forget about, what the struggles, the hardship that they went through when they were this kids' ages. So, and the kids feel as though they're not being supported, seen, or heard. And with my son being killed, that's what made me come to the realization that our children need support. They need the support. If I'm going to stand outside and literally wait for somebody for about 2 to 3 hours for them to come outside for me to shoot them, what does that say about me? So these youths don't have nothing to utilize their time with. They don't have nothing to look forward to. So instead, they go to the next youth for support, for guidance, and they're all trying to impress each other. It's like the blind leading the blind, the dumb leading the dumb. Because if your child come to you to talk, to want to interact with you, and you just tell them, I'm tired, I'm just coming from work, without supporting them, knowing what they want, they're not going to disturb you for more than an hour. So if you don't support them, they're going to go to their friend who's the same age, who's confused as well, trying to look for answers. So now that friend is giving that one the wrong information. So because of what I've seen, experienced, I feel as though our children need the support now. So we can strengthen them so they can support us when we age, and for them to also support the next generation.
I truly believe that we have to be the role models, right? We have to set the example for them. And you're right. We need to step up. If we stand there and we just watch it happen, how are we changing anything? How are we making that difference, right?
Precisely.
So I want to know a little bit more about Kamara Youths. How do you bring awareness through Kamara Youths for the youths?
Well, my team, Liz, is phenomenal. It's excellent. Literally, we are family. And we come up with ideas, we strategize, we have our meetings that we bring together. So we bring awareness to Kamara Youth through churches, radio, television, word of mouth on the street. You know, we're trying to hopefully have a festival that will bring out the whole community of Brent or Neasden to the park. So that is also with us trying to bring awareness to Kamara Youths and also supporting all these different organizations from our event, Saving Our Next Generation, because we bring all these forward thinkers, specialists into our platform that we call, forward thinkers. And we try to help organizations through our forward thinkers. So that is us also spreading awareness that we're here to support organizations, charities, and business and individuals. So that's how we're bringing awareness to Kamara Youths. And also, we now have a newsletter that we send out. So we want everyone to know that we're here.
Oh, you're there. And you got amazing lineups every month. I believe it's the last Saturday of every month that you do a conference, right?
That's correct.
So if anybody would like to know about Kamara Youths, they could check you out on Instagram and Facebook, I believe, right?
We're on every social media: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just Google, we're there.
He's out there. He's all over the place. But Unisa, what makes you you? What have you learned about yourself with everyone that you've worked with? What have you learned about yourself?
Wow, that's a good question, Liz. I've never been asked that.
I'm different. I go deep. I'm a deep tea.
What I've learned about myself is the fact that I don't know it all. What I learned about myself is that I am still a child of my Most High God because I believe in my Creator. I've learned that the more I give, it's the more joy I feel. I've learned that I'm not to judge anyone. because that brings me that negative energy. I surround myself with individuals of positivity, trying to make a change, trying to make an impact, and trying to build something. So everyone I surround myself around with is of positivity, of humanity. So we don't have that time to linger around and waste. Many of the individuals I talk to are in different countries. So for me to stay up all night to interact with all these people, it must mean a highlight to me because I definitely don't have that time to linger. So I've learned so much about myself and I'm still learning.
Well, and I think we learn each and every day, right? Each new person that we meet, each new connection that we meet, the dots that we connect, right? So
Absolutely.
I want to get into, I know it's a little early and I'm all over because I'm super excited because I just love UNICEF because we actually met when I was doing the Human Rights Social Justice Federation. And he was one of my speakers for youth rights. And this is how we connected. And I've just seen you blossom like since the day that we met, right? And you've seen me grow and we've built this beautiful friendship, and he's like my big brother. So when I'm having a hard time, I'm like, hey, you got to make sense of this, you got to do this, right? So I want to get to know what your T is, UNICEF. So if I give you the word T and I want a word, we've already done this, so you kind of switched my T around on me, but I'd like to know what your T is. So give me a word for each of those letters.
Well, I like green tea and I like jasmine.
And you're
So,
doing it again to me. This man will bring my tea all over. But I would really like to know what your tea is, UNICEF. So give me 3 words. I want your past, your present, and your future right now. So give me a word for each letter. So for the letter T, E, and a word that starts with each letter.
togetherness, empathy, and awareness.
See, now you know what I'm doing.
Well, please, I always, like I said, I'm a student. I'm still learning. So please enlighten me.
When I first did the tea with Unisys through Messenger on WhatsApp, he kind of just switched it right up on me and he turned it into green tea. And then he was giving me words for the word green. And I was like, where's he going with this? So you were teaching me a new way of serving tea as well. And I serve tea in my way. So together we served a really good strong tea, and we've made a new way of serving it by understanding what words do and how we can make a difference with words and that. So like your tea right now that you just said, together, empathy and awareness. You're huge on awareness, and I see that in your future really, really big time. Empathy, that's you. You're the biggest little Care Bear big brother
Oh,
out
thank
there.
you.
So the empathy is there. You already got it. But together, that's your past. So as a child, you wanted that togetherness. You were looking and seeking for people to stay joined together. And you brought it into your present and into your future as well. So see, you just served me your life tea. And I love
Wow.
your strong tea because you really are that UNICEF. You bring people together. You're full of empathy, and you are full of awareness. That is you. That is you right there. Like you couldn't explain it even any better than what. If you would have gave me different words, I would have been, nope, that's not you. But because I know you personally, know you now, I know you're giving me your life tea. So how would you
I
like
appreciate you, Liz.
so how would you like to see your tea grow in the future?
I want to reach more countries. We at Kamara Youths, like I've said this many times, Liz, we at Kamara Youths, we are not getting funding. We're building out water pumps in different parts of the world. I think that there's so much that we need to do as a society, as communities, as human beings. There was something I was reading. They say you never know the struggle of having to walk for a mile to go get water, and the bucket that you have the water in has a hole. So by the time you get home, the water that you have just fetched is no more.
Wow.
We take things for granted. We go into the kitchen, the bathroom, wherever it is, and we have access. There are people that travel over miles to go get fetch water. These are things that are free. Why are people dying all over the world due to lack? And while we sit and waste what people are in need of, that's not of humanity. And that hurts me.
See, I think that's why we connect so strongly, you and me, UNICEF, because we want to see that change in the world. It's the little things that people people take for granted. We over underappreciate the simple things like water. Water. We all need water, but we over underappreciate a glass of water. You know, uh, Even when I brush my teeth or I do the dishes, I'm just like, oh, I don't need all that water. Let's use less because the next person down the street could use the water, knowing that it's not even the same pipeline. But that's just the way I think, and that. So
That's
I
good to think like that.
we need to think of each other, right? We need to help each other and support each other. And I think that's what I really like about Kamara Youth is the support system that you have made, you know, and how you have created this family of support. We have some supporters in the house. We have Cheryl Minette and Marie Boatwright who have been on Kamara Youth and have shared, amazing women. But you've created this family, and you've created a joining of connecting the countries because you are reaching people, UNICEF. It might not be as fast as we want it to be, but you are reaching people. And I believe that everything happens at the right time, right?
Indeed.
So I want to talk a little bit about Kamari workshops because when you sent me that logo, I was like, okay, what is this about? I don't know nothing about workshops, but you were explaining to me that it was like an umbrella of all of the stuff that you do. So if you could tell the viewers out there that are watching and that will watch the replay, what is Kamari workshops?
Kamara Workshops, basically, I became a motivational speaker overnight. Um, as I was putting myself through school, I was on the verge of exiting, well, going to school again. That's to show you I'm a nerd.
You just like the books.
So I was walking out the building and I seen all these, guys, young people gathering around someone. Me being inquisitive, I walked over there and said, what's going on? They said, oh, we get a speaker or two speakers, uh, you know, so often. I said, really? I stood there, heard the gentleman speaking. I was not impressed. So I asked, who hires these people? And she just happened to be there. There goes Unisa. Once I started talking, she's like, okay, okay. So I needed a business. And for some odd reason, I wanted workshops because one never knows what tomorrow holds, but you can have an idea. So in my mind, I had an idea that I was going to redevelop myself here in the UK as I had done in America. So when I created Kamara and Kamara Workshops, it's basically the umbrella for Kamara Youths, which is under there, which we have all other businesses under Kamara and Kamara Workshop because also we do mentor the youths. We do a lot of outreach. So all that it's under one umbrella, but just different strings to it.
Awesome. I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about the mentorship that is being provided in this day and age?
That is something, Liz. If I sit here and I expand on that, I'm not going to call name, but someone that I respect worked for, a certain hospital. There was an individual that amputated their hand, literally took a knife and cut his arm off. Now, the hospital told the psychologist this gentleman has some issues. They assessed him. Apparently, they said he don't have anything. Now, the Mental Capacity Act, which is the MCA, base that don't judge someone from reading their file or from what you heard. Judge the individual for who they are in front of you at that point in time. And that's what a lot of these psychologists do. They're not looking at the whole picture. A lot of them are just going off the books. If you, I, First of all, when you want to assess someone, we have to sit and understand the root of the problem, where this is coming from, where it's originated from. You understand? Then you can support that individual. You're not supposed to have an individual come into your service and you don't engage. You're just going to say this is what it is, and then you try to discharge this individual. Now back to the story that I was saying. This guy stated that he was going to hurt himself. They discharged him. And now he's saying he's going to kill his parents. They're discharging him. And I guarantee you, and I can say this right now live on your show, you're going to either end up reading about this young man killing his parents or killing himself. Because according to his therapist, they say he's well. So do I have respect for? No. When David Slade and I used to do the mindful session, David used to talk about, the medical aspect of a lot of triggers, a lot of mental health, issues. And I used to focus on, the non-medical aspect of it. And we would debate. Now, what I used to say was, if you know your triggers, but if you think you cannot handle them, go and see someone. You understand?
Yep.
Now, I know there are different kinds of medical diseases out there, but also there are mild ones. They're severe. But if you are having this individual just looped up on medication or discharging them, we need to ask ourselves, are they helping? If you look at the mental health suicidal rate, the stats on that, it's not decreasing at all.
No. We're actually getting increase.
Precisely. So do we really need to sit and assess this whole mental health? Let me say, because we call them, on the disciplinary board. The disciplinary board consists of the psychologists, the doctors, social workers, and so forth. We need to really assess them to see what is it that they're actually doing. Because it's just, and the funniest thing, if you go to certain communities, a lot of the individuals you see walking down the street, they're not supposed to be out there. Either they're supposed to have a 24-hour service for somebody to be with them at all times, somebody to make sure that they're taking their medications, or somebody that is trying to support them in knowing and understanding themselves for the triggers. But if you are letting these people go out into the community, and then if they hurt someone, what's the court going to say? They have mental health issues. But if they have mental health issues, why are they in the streets? So this is something that really bothers me. And it's just, I think, ludicrous. I'm not putting down the medical system. I'm not here to say anything bad about anyone. Many of them are doing an excellent job, but some of them, they're not connected. As a therapist, you need to connect with your client. If you feel as though you and your clients are not connecting, that relationship is not going to work. Because number one, your client is not going to trust you due to your behaviors, your actions, and so forth, and your word. So I feel that it's okay to give also these individuals that are seeing this therapist the opportunity to say, you know what, I cannot work with this therapist. But for you to say, well, these are the therapists that you can see because this is what the facility has, then where are their human rights? Yes, I can go on this all day.
I like that you said human rights because for the viewers out there that don't know, today is International Human Rights Day. December 10th is Human Rights Day. A lot of people should be looking into their rights and understanding as well. I want to get into the mentorship. Like, UNICEF, what the mentorship of mentoring people, we have to really understand and connect with them instead of just saying that we're a mentor, right? We have to stay engaged, involve ourselves in that. So you are a mentor and you are one of my mentors and you encourage me to stay strong in that. But that's because we stay connected. So should everybody out there be a mentor?
No.
Good answer. Good answer. And I really want the viewers out there who are watching now and the viewers that are gonna watch later. Not everyone is meant to be a mentor. Not everyone is meant to be a speaker. Not everyone is meant to be a leader. We are giving these because of the choices that we make and the way that we represent ourselves and the way we serve ourselves. UNICEF is the real deal. He serves and he is there for you day and night. Like I talked to him the other night at 2 a.m. So like on his time, not my time, his time. So that's what I mean. He is there all the time. So if anybody really wants to reach out to UNICEF, like really, but I really like that you said no, because a lot of people will say, well, yeah, anybody can do it. And no, not everyone can do it. Not everyone can be a mentor. Not everyone can be a leader. And it's not because you're not good enough. It's just not meant for you. It's not your destiny. It's not, you know. And I try to say this to everyone when I serve my tea is I serve a real cup of tea. I mentor in a different way than UNICEF does. UNICEF mentors in a different way than I do. But we still mentor and we stay connected. And I believe that all mentors out there should stay connected to each and every one that they're working with. So, what message would you have for the mentors out there? Because I'm really glad you said no, because a lot of people try to, oh, I'm a mentor. Okay, well, what are you mentoring? What message are you actually giving? So, the message you'd like to give to the mentors that should be mentoring.
Oh, the ones that should be, not should
Should
not.
it should be, because there are mentors out there that need to really step up as well. They are incredible individuals, but they need to step up because they need that little push, that little spill of tea once in a while to just move the flow. So, what message would you have for those guys out there?
I want you to understand that, first of all, when you say you're a mentor, you want people to rely on you. When you say you're a mentor, you have people that look up to you, expect you to support them. Know your craft. Know that people's lives depend on you. So when you sit with someone, you're trying to convey a message or support them in whatever aspect of life that they come to you for, or whatever you specialize in. If you don't specialize in that field, don't go half in because you're actually going to end up hindering that person. As a mentor, a lot depends on you. And also understand that you're a forward thinker. But as a mentor, never let them know that you're letting them solve their own situation, their own problems. It depends on how you question and how you have the conversation. Because one thing as a mentor, you have to understand, we as human beings already have the answer. We just need someone to talk them out of us and let them come out of our mouth.
And I really believe that's the way we should be mentoring, because we are playing with people's lives. When we say that we can help you, we need to really step up and say we can help you and show up. Don't just speak the words, but show the actions as well. And you said you do that. You speak the action and you do the action. Like 2
Thank
o'clock in
you.
the morning, you answer your phone and you're like, okay, Liz, what's going on here? So I really want everyone out there to understand that Unisa is the real deal, and he really does change lives and he makes a difference. And I want to thank you for your services, Unisa, for doing what you're doing and that. And to mentor the youths, it is different than mentoring an adult. An adult is usually set in their ways and their belief systems and that, but a youth is the beginning of their journey. We really need to start mentoring them and making them understand that their dreams are important. And I really love what you're doing with the youths, Unisa. I have seen you do some videos where you're standing out and doing pamphlets. You're engaging with the youth. You're not just getting other people to do it. You're actually out there and you're talking to them. And we don't see that enough. We don't see enough people engaging. We really need that out there. And we need more people to understand that we're the leaders of the next generation. So we need to set the example. If we want better examples from the youths, we have to set the better examples as well. And that's what UNICEF does with Kamara Youths. He really does set the example and brings it to the table. And so I want to know a little bit more on your team and what your team does and how your team makes a difference, because that's what we do. We make a difference.
Liz, when you say my team, I smile, and I smile big. I'm a grouchy old man.
Yeah, you could be.
No, but my team is so excellent. Cheryl, who's here, is head of the editorial department. And when you say I don't sleep, she don't sleep. Because I'm in an air like as soon as I get home, it's time for me to relax. That means it's time for her to work because we go to work. And her eyes are everywhere, everything we do. Then we have Miriam. She's head of oh boy, the marketing team. Phenomenal. The team, one thing I explained to them, as I stated earlier, I believe in family and we are family. We are going to have our hiccups, but we need to resolve this hiccup before it hinders us. So we also have Miriam. She's doing the marketing. We have Baki, who's the manager. She's managing all the youths. See, Liz, my hair is falling out, so I cannot afford to be a manager anymore. So she's managing them.
It's all the hats. That's what they say. The hats take away the hair. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, and also I have Richard. Richard is the CEO of each of these individuals that work on my team have their own businesses. So are we all leaders coming together to create something? Yes. Richard is the CEO of A&B TV. And we're about to launch something on the 15th, which we'll talk about later. But Richard is an event director. So everything dealing with the back, the cameras, making sure you need to say shining. Yeah, but we have to make sure that Richard is on it. And who else? We have Foxstar Film Production on board. My family is big. Idris, who does the photographing. We have a gentleman also in Africa, Victory. We have Robinson. If I don't call your name, please forgive me. Liz is getting me in trouble. Liz is getting me in trouble. And also, let me say, also my brother Sean Fair is also a part of the team. So it's so many people that come together to create Kamara Youths. And really and truly, I cannot ask for a better team, a better family to be around me. Because Liz, I'm not perfect. And it takes a whole lot to deal with me. And they always know how to deal with me. So I'm so grateful to be in their midst.
Well, I only like imperfect people. I don't like perfect people. That's why you're my big brother, right?
That's it. It's in the gene.
Yeah, because my roots are not straight at all. But this is what we do: is we join together, we connect, and we support one another. And I really believe that we need to get that out there, especially this time of year at Christmas time. You are doing some videos of messages. Could you tell the viewers a little bit about that?
A forward thinker is also someone that thinks about families. Forward thinker is supposed to help build, so. So being Kamara Youths, what we represent, we have had all these phenomenal speakers come onto our stage. We want to give them the opportunity to wish the the globe, the world, a happy holiday, because you never know who just someone might not like my voice, but when someone else's voice come on, that person might like that person's voice. You never know what someone is going through, and you never know the tone of voice that they want to hear. So all our four speakers are making videos. Now we might not be able to show all the video of all our four thinkers in within this month because we are only doing December. So this is not Midlands. The team decided only the first 31 people that send their videos in get to air their videos.
Well, and that's a nice way and a nice thank you to the speakers as well, right? Because you give them another chance to use their voice. And that's what
Absolutely.
I love doing on Tea Time, is giving people the chance to use their voice to make a difference, because that's what we do. The cup makes a difference. We
Absolutely.
actually serve different cups and different flavors each time we sit at this table. When Eunice came on in the backstage before the show started, he's like, "Oh, I love your background." I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually in my tea room, guys. Like, this is my tea room."
I need a
Uh,
tea room.
no green screens here. I'm the real deal. But I really liked that we have that connection, that we were able to interact with each other and stay connected, before, during, and after each tea time. And I want to bring up that this is my last tea time for 2021, but it's not the last one, because there's a big tea time coming December 18th for the reunion tea time, where UNICEF will be joining me again. And there are over 20 guests from 2020 and 2021 that will be returning, with some special surprises from Miss Liz, of course. And all of the people out there that has supported me during the 2 years. I'm not leaving. I'm just going into a different avenue. I am joining and connecting. And UNICEF and me, we'll be spilling some tea, I think, in the future, because I have a few ideas that I want to throw his way. So, and I want
And I'm
to make
waiting.
sure.
I'm waiting.
Well, yeah, we got to spill tea together, right? That's what family does. We spill we make
Absolutely.
a mess. So, any messages that you would like to give to the youths that are watching today, UNICEF, out there?
Your voice matters. Your future is so bright. Things are not going to be easy. You have just started your destiny. You want to be the pilot of your own vehicle. Come and talk to us. We are Kamara Youths. We want to support you. We know your value. We want you to come and share with us. Now, a lot of you are going through a lot it's quite understandable. You might not have access to Kamara Youths, but there's an organization around where you are that can support you. Whatever you're going through today, always remember, regardless how heavy that rain is coming, there comes a time when the sun has to shine. But you need to take the step. Some people might not believe in you, but it takes one person to make a difference. It takes one person to believe in you, and that's you. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to be? What do you like to do? How do you think you can service your community? This is your life. This is not my life. I'm talking about your life. This is your life. If you're hungry, I promise you, no one is going to feel your pain but you. When you're sick, no one feels your pain but you. Now is the time for you to become what you were meant to be. And you have people all over trying to support you. Give someone a chance. Thank you, Liz.
Well, I really, really enjoyed our cup of tea together. And if anybody would like to reach out to UNICEF, please reach out to this man, because I'm telling you, he will change lives, and his smile does make a difference. Like, come on, who cannot love this smile right here?
Oh, stop.
But I would like people to understand that tea time is a place for us to open up and to share who we truly are. Because when we're in a home environment and a safe environment, we actually spill a lot more than what we originally think we're going to spill. UNICEF spilled his tea today. He spilled a strong tea. Together, empathy and awareness. You too serve a tea. We all serve a tea out there. And in the future, I want to see more tea out there. I want to see you really stepping up and taking the place and making a difference in people's lives, because we really can make a difference with one cup of tea. We really can open hearts and make people understand that it's the simple things in life, like water, like UNICEF said, that we take advantage of. But we need that water to make that cup of tea. We need that flow. So we need that friendship. We need that support. We need that connection. So I encourage each and every one of you to check out Miss Liz's Tea Times on YouTube, and check out the 108 tea times I have served at this table for the last 2 years. Each and every one of them has a different flavor. UNICEF is my last incredible tea, a strong tea, a tea of togetherness. He brought it all together to close it up for 2021. That doesn't mean that it's over. It just means that he's brought us together. And I really want to thank each and every one of you who has watched today's tea time. I'm not leaving right now because we still got another 10 minutes. So I want to spill a little bit more tea with UNICEF before we leave. And I want to really get it out there. For some reason, these links are not working, but UNICEF has a website, and he does have a website for the Kamara Youths as well. So I'll get that in after the show and that. And you can also hear all of these tea times on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Outcast, Speaker, Pocket Cast. There's so many different locations that Miss Liz is really reaching out to. December 18th, I would like you all to know that this is a special tea time. This will not be broadcast live, so you need to buy a ticket if you want to see this tea time. The tea time guests that are coming back are from 2020 and 2021, and they have incredible updates. The ticket link is available on Miss Liz's tea time pages, and some of the speakers have already shared the ticket link as well. The cost of this event is $25 Canadian. And I promise you that it is worth $25, because when I serve tea, I serve it differently. I'm bringing over 20 incredible guests back who are making a difference. And UNICEF will be one of them. He is joining us, and he will have some updates and some good surprises too. It'll also give you a chance to connect, network, and work with all of these incredible tea time guests. UNICEF is looking for speakers. You can reach out to him. He has different topics every last Saturday of the month, and he has some surprises coming for the future, which I'm so excited about. But I will not. My lips are. But I am so proud of you, Eunice. You have really come so far since the day I've met you. And I don't know how I found you, but I found you and I reached out to you. And I think the connection of the big brother, little sister there, or little big sister, little brother, I'm not sure which one is what. I don't know even know who's older.
I'm the older one. Is
So you're the big brother. You're my big
I'm the
bear.
big brother.
You're my big bear.
But you know what? The big brother, the big bear is always willing to learn. So it gives me the greatest pleasure of being, with someone such as yourself, so caring, so passionate, because I remember when you reached out to me to be a speaker on your platform, what you were doing, that initiative, I applaud you for that. Something that needs to be heard, things that are going on in the communities. I still remember that conversation because everything decide to take a part in is because it's something I have to feel. So when you decided to open that up, and I just loved it because, as they say, these youths are going through the same thing. It's just that in some communities, it's looked at differently. The way the police interact with the youths, injustice, and so forth. So I really did enjoy that, and I thank you for that.
Yeah. And it really opened doors. It really opened up different communities and countries and gave us that aspect of understanding, right? The laws and rights for each country is different. And
I had
it
to
was,
study all those.
I know, right? That was a lot of work for me back then, but I actually enjoy getting to meet and connect with amazing people from around the world. And this is what you're doing too, Eunice. You're connecting and meeting people too, you know. And sometimes it's not as fast as we'd like it to be because we're those big humanitarians who want change, who want that difference. And sometimes it's not fast enough for us, but we're still pushing it, even though it takes time, right? Uh, and it was a good conference that we had on youth rights because we actually got to understand the rights of different countries. You know, not all the rights are the same, and it brings us back to today. Today is Human Rights Day, so know your rights
Do
for
you
your
see how, Liz? Do you see how funny the universe is?
right.
This is how we met. This is what brought us together. And today is like our reunion.
It
Excellent.
it's that big circle, right? The circle of the connection. We've met through human rights, and today is Human Rights Day, and and we're serving tea, and you serve tea in a different way. You serve it with green tea. I still have your words for green tea, but that might be something that we could look into in the future, is serving the flavors of tea, the blends of tea, and understanding why youths are not connecting to their teas, because the tea is each and every one of us, right? Is it because they're not feeling heard? Is it because they've heard the same story from each of the coaches and mentors? Is it because they're scared to come forward because of the new ways? We really need to understand the youths and connect with them, and I think, Eunice, you're the man to do it. I think you can do it.
Well, thank you for the vote of confidence.
You got the big shoulders. You can do it.
Liz, we're all doing our part.
Yes.
We're all doing our part. You know, everything that we do in society, we might not get the credit for it right now, but down the line, somebody is going to be sitting somewhere and say, I remember this lady that had a show called T. I remember the advice I took from that show. I remember when she was doing this. So in life, we might not get the acknowledgement that we want while we're walking on our journey, but in one way or another, Benjamin Franklin, Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, many of them. Let's go to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed every business he tried to open. Every business he tried. Then he went for, to be a candidate for the U.S. presidency. He won. All his failures have been removed. So when you fall again. Remember, the thing that people always remember is not where you started, but where you end. Liz, it's been a pleasure.
I really like the way that you wrap that up, Yusuf, because I'm that girl with the crazy dream of making a difference with a cup of tea. And it's happening. I am making a difference. And the teas are making a difference with me because I can't do it alone. There's no I in my tea. There's only an E. So there's no I for me. And I add an M to that T and I got a team. And my tea guests are my team and that. And for me, it was Walt Disney. Walt Disney got laughed at and joked at and everything. And look at today, millions and millions of people celebrate at his studio and see the dream. So you just never know what your dream can do and how far
Indeed.
it can go. And I believe that your future is going to get bright in 2022, just like mine, and we will make a difference together. And I want to really thank the viewers who joined today. I see your messages coming in, your comments coming in from all over. And I really want to just thank you for the support. Without you supporting Tea Time, it would not be what it is today. So I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in for every single Tea Time out there. I want to thank Cheryl for tuning in and supporting UNICEF, and Marie, and a few other people that are in here that I would like to really just thank you for taking the time to sit and have tea with us, because that's what we do. We sit, we serve, and we make a difference. And I want to see you all December 18th for reunion tea time. So grab your tickets, because I'm telling you, it will be a tea time that will be remembered for a long time. Miss Liz has got a lot of surprises coming and a lot of incredible guests who have made a difference and sat at my table. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you December 18th. Grab your tickets because it is a special tea time. And Unisa, thank you for sitting and having tea with me and sharing your tea, because you do serve a strong tea. And I am honored to know you as a person and as a friend and as a sister. So thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure, Liz. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you all to the viewers out there. If you're watching on the replay, please put hashtag replay and let me know where you're watching from so I know. And I will see you all in 2022 with a new platform, new layout, and new cups of tea. So until then, thank you all for joining me for 2021. UNICEF, thank you for closing up the year and making it a memorable one. I really want to thank each and every one of you out there. And I want to thank everyone who has tuned in. Without you, I could not do what I'm doing today. So thank you. And I will see you December 18th. Grab a ticket.